So we have the start of day 15. I came into town last night to resupply, and so I'm staying at Angel's Rest Hiker Haven that you'll see here. And yeah, I'm ready to go. Let me grab my stuff. Yep.
Do you know if anybody else is?
I think there's 2 other people down here. And
right,
if it,
you
talk to Ursa folks?
I got it.
So as I was saying, I'm getting a ride back to the trail. Came in, did laundry, took a shower, slept overnight in a rainstorm here. It's all good. We're getting ready to head back to the trail, get a ride back to the trail, hike out. Today's supposed to be overcast and chilly, but it should be good. I'm headed into the bunk room to grab my stuff. Okay, day 15, back on trail. Trying to get my body heat regulated. It's a constant issue. Today's going to be in the 50s, which is really good hiking weather, but it's going to be pretty breezy. So, yeah, I'm taking you with me. We had a big thunderstorm last night when I was in the hostel. Kind of glad I wasn't out in it. And so today the trail is a little wet. I have probably said this before, but I have a pretty big climb coming up, about 3 miles up to the top of a ridge. And then I want to camp up there. Met the shuttle driver today. Her name was Reset. Very helpful person. She thru-hiked in 2023, and she said text anytime you want any advice anywhere along the trail. I thought that is just so nice. She was a pharmacist, and after COVID hit, she decided to check it all, hike the Appalachian Trail, and her husband spent time at a couple of different hostels along the trail doing shuttle work and just helping people out. It was such a nice offer. She said, text me anywhere on the trail about any advice. She said, especially when you get north, the resupply stuff is trickier. I can advise you, and she invited me to do it. That's very welcome. She also encouraged me and said the first month is the hardest on trail. After that, you kind of get in routines, and I agree. Just about everything is new. My first real resupply in town at a grocery store. I figured I needed 3 days of food. In actuality, I only needed 2. There are just so many decisions. Like yesterday, I got to the hostel. And I had a long list of things I needed to do. I needed to do laundry, I needed to shower, I needed to resupply, I needed to backflush my water filter and make sure it's good to go. I needed to charge all my electronics. I tried to post some videos. I got a couple of videos posted up, but even with a good Wi-Fi connection, I guess everybody else in the hostel was using Wi-Fi last night, so they didn't all post up. Then you just need to get your pack sorted out and do some of the things that you can't do when you're on trail. Get some things cleaned up. And so I literally didn't have much downtime. I did go to the Mexican restaurant with a fellow named Pat, and had a great meal there last night, and so that was cool. This hostel didn't have breakfast. Not all hostels do, and so I made myself some oatmeal packs from the food kitty. So anyway, we're on trail today, and it actually is quite beautiful after the rain. It's just, it can be a little damp, so I'm taking you with me. It is it is challenging all the decisions you need to make, and knowing how far to go and where to stop and what to do. I met a young fellow last night, now I forget his name, his trail name, but he was one of those guys. He said, oh, I do 10, 12 miles. He said, I'm not into all this rushing through this, I'm just enjoying the experience. And it's kind of encouragement I needed, because some of the people that have been passing me by have been bragging about how many miles they're doing a day, and I'm just not doing it. So it's getting better, but I'm just not doing it. So every bit of encouragement is helpful. You know, every day is a decision to get up and get out here. This morning was a decision because it's rainy and cold, and it would have been easy to just say, oh, I'll stay another night. And but no rain, no pain, no main, and so here we are. You get out and face it, and oftentimes it isn't as bad as what you think it's going to be. So today's obstacle that kind of niggling in the back of my mind is that they're calling for blustery winds, and I'm going to end up camping on a ridge. And not my favorite thing, but I've done it before. So I'm kind of anxious to get to the campsite, get set up, and see what the lay of the land is. But the reality is there's about 8.5, 9.5 miles between me and that campsite. So this morning, the hydration strategy is this. I try to get about 1 liter of water in with breakfast. I carry 1 liter with electrolytes that I'll drink up this climb, and which, not this climb, but the climb that's coming. And then I will, once I get up the climb, there's a spring up there, or to the campsite there's a spring, and so then I'll drink some more and make my meals and whatever. But hydration is a real thing. I don't think I've been having a hydration issue. I've been making too many trips to see to the loo, or Mrs. Murphy, or however you want to say it, in the night. So I don't think I've been dehydrated. That can be a serious deal. So anyway, taking you along. It's gorgeous out here. Just back a little ways past a redbud that was just starting to bloom. I know that would be behind us there in Harrisonburg, but down here some of the stuff is just starting to come out. And I'm being especially careful and creepy slow this morning because it's wet, and wet rocks are slippery. So, wow, cool. Look at this kind of field of flowers coming up here. This is just awesome. Just awesome. How can you say there is no God? How would the mind of man come up with something like this? I just don't know. Yesterday, as I was walking and I was going up a climb, and I spent some time talking to the Lord and praying, and one of the things that really touched my heart was that the Lord just said, I'm proud of you, son. That's part of the reason for my name, Grace Son, is because I've come into this new awareness of being a son of God. I've been grafted into the line. I'm a brother of Jesus, and the Lord speaks, and that is awesome. And it wasn't so many days ago having a struggle like this first 2 weeks. About every day has had a different struggle, whether it be a long climb or whether it be a rainy day. But I was having a struggle, and the Lord just said, Ron, I'm going to carry you to Katahdin. And so I just cherish those times when the Lord speaks. And so that's part of my day 15 today. That's what's going on in my head. anyway, I'm keep hiking this thing, and I'm going to take you along. Okay, so last night after I took my shower, I got a good look at myself in the mirror, and with 7, 8, 9 days of beard growth and suntan, I thought I looked like a very different person. Thought maybe if I just let this go on for a little while, I could be enrolled in the witness protection program. I don't know what I'm going to be a witness for, but anyway, it's amazing how the trail transformed. I know I've lost a little weight. I don't think it's been a humongous amount, but I've lost a little weight, and I can tell my waistline is just a little smaller because I had to cinch up all my belts a little tighter. But it's really the stubble. Maybe you can't see it on camera as much. When you have gray white hair and you have a mirror that's illuminated by a fluorescent lamp, it makes your white look really white. So anyway, just random thoughts. Oh, isn't this beautiful? So we're coming out here on this meadow. We're going to cross the road, and not so long after we well, I have a little ways to go, but not so long after we cross the road, the climb begins. So take you along with me. Okay, so this is a place you need to pay attention. You see the two white blazes coming up here on this post? That means the trail's about to turn. And if the top blaze is offset to the left, it means you make a left. So what's happening today is there's a river and some stuff that we need to get across. And so the Appalachian Trail just follows this road bridge. It looks like they've given us kind of our own dedicated walkway though. So here we go. We're crossing the river. I wish there was a sign to tell me which one it is. I'm sure I can figure it out. Maybe I will put it in the text on the video. But so not all of the Appalachian Trail is pristine wilderness. After we cross the river, you can see the ridge of mountains ahead there, and that's what we're going up. If I seem to be fixated on the climb, you are right. I am fixated on the climb. It doesn't look too bad, actually. So, just gotta get up there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the payoff for 5.5 miles of climbing. It's just incredible view over here in West Virginia. It's terribly windy up here, but the view is just spectacular. But I'm going to get moving and get back into the trees. Well, made it to camp today on day 15. It was an 11-mile day. Let's call it an 11-mile day, 10.89. A lot of climb. I looked at my watch. It said the ascent was 3,042 feet. So that officially beats any record that I've done before. I think it was 2,600 feet a couple of days back. Made it. The climb was not too bad. Just took it in sections. Camping at a saddle up here on the ridge. I may show you some pictures here later if I get set up. Right now I'm just chilling in the hammock and resting a little bit, but it was a good day. There were some gorgeous views that I'll put in today's video. There's some gorgeous views from the top of the mountain by the rice field shelter. We're not staying there because the rice field shelter is 3-sided, and the side that's open is open to the wind. So it's a very open, exposed place in an open field, and so we decided to move on. I also needed to split my day up a little bit. I have another 11-miler to do tomorrow, and so coming on a couple of more miles made a lot more sense. But the sun's out. It's not raining. It is windy, and it's going to remain windy through the night as far as I know. But it was a good day on trail. I'm camping up here with another fellow I met on the trail. He's doing a section, so we're kind of camping buddies. And life is good. So I'm going to settle in and get around here and make some supper and chill.